spot, guys. Here's DraftKings contributors Kenny Ducey and Geoff Ulrich for NFL over-under. So will these teams go over or under their projected win total in 2021? We talked a lot of football this week, talking win totals for the top teams in the league and the bottom feeders, and of course, Kenny's Jets. But let's look at some teams in the middle of the pack here. So we're going to start with the Seahawks, sitting at 9.5 wins. Can Russell Wilson and company hit that over, Kenny?
You know, it's the darndest thing, Jesse. I don't think so. It sounds weird, right? You think the Seahawks last year, they were one of the best teams in football. If you want to rewind, right, and look back to the beginning of last season, all of us at DraftKings everywhere were calling the Seahawks frauds. They were not sure the Seahawks were really good because this defense is so bad. And what did they do over the offseason? They didn't do much to improve this defense. The secondary really shot them in the foot a lot last season. And now you look at the matchups, Indy, Tennessee, and Pittsburgh from the AFC. You have a very difficult division, maybe the most difficult division in football with San Francisco, LA, and Arizona. LA is a title contender this year. And then you got to play New Orleans, Green Bay, and that tough Washington defense. This is going to be really difficult. This is a much tougher road ahead for the Seahawks this season versus last season. I think it's going to be a little bit more difficult. This is going to be very close, but I think they win 9 games here.
Jeff, what do you think? Are they going under that 9.5 win mark?
It is going to be close, but they've sucked me back in already. I'm going to take the over here. I like some of the moves they made. I think Dwayne Eskridge was a savvy pick there in the second round. I like the fact they brought in Witherspoon to shore up the corner spot and Pierre Desir a bit. So, with Russell Wilson, they're definitely going to be in contention for the over here, and I would lean over for this one.
Okay, the next set of teams are all at 9 wins, which would be a 9-8 season. So the Minnesota Vikings, can they hit that 9-win total, Jeff?
Yeah, I'm going to go under here. Again, a tough schedule, and maybe some of this, rests on where Aaron Rodgers ends up. But I really don't see that the Vikings taking a huge step forward. They're going to have to outscore a lot of people. They're probably going to do that in some games, but they do match up against a couple tough divisions as well. I just don't really like this team, quite frankly. I'm going to go under.
Kenny, are you going under?
No, I'm going over. I think that the Minnesota Vikings made a lot of, they had a big offseason. They added on the defense, and they're also going to get Anthony Barr back, who missed the last 14 games of the year last year. Michael Pierce, Danielle Hunter, so many names. They brought in Nick Vigil that are going to really shore up that rushing defense. That was their biggest Achilles heel last year. If they fix the defensive side of things, they still got Dalvin Cook. They still have an average quarterback in Kirk Cousins. They can still make some noise here in a division that's kind of whimpering now with the Lions just leaving the picture. So I definitely think that they can do this. Yeah, for sure.
Okay, the LA Chargers in Justin Herbert's second season. Kenny, over or under 9 wins?
Under still. I think that this defense is a big liability. I know that it's getting better. I know that they're a rebuilding team, but this team is still a team that's a year away from making a ton of noise in the AFC. And you have to remember, they're going to have to play some great teams. They're going to have to run the gauntlet against Kansas City twice. You've got, New England is going to be a tough game. People, according to people who say the Jets are going to lose a lot of games, Denver is going to be a difficult game, and Cincinnati as well. So I don't know. Cleveland, Baltimore, that's for the AFC North. I just don't see the Chargers dominating here. This is a very high total, and I think it's a pretty value bet here to take the under.
Jeff, you think it's too high? You want to go under?
I mean, all of a sudden the Patriots are good in Kenny's eyes. Is that what we're doing here? No, I actually like the over here quite a bit. They match up with the NFC East. I mean, we're talking like one little upset away, and you could easily get the over here. They also have 2 games against the Raiders on the schedule. They have Houston. They also end with a very, very, easy end of year schedule here. They have the Raiders, the Texans, and the Giants kind of all in their last 5 games. I think you're in a very good spot for a push at 9. And again, you're like one upset away from going the over here. I think Justin Herbert's a great QB. I think the defense is a little bit underrated, so I'm going to go over.